this is my story. I couldn't think of an answer for that. Um, I don't, I don't, there would be a million questions, but I feel like if I could speak to God, I would thank him. I, to me, it would be hard to ask him anything because I wouldn't understand his answer more than likely. Yeah. I just could not come down with a question. I would just say thank you. And there's nothing more you can say to God. If you start questioning him, well, good luck. My grandma, um, she passed away when I was in about fifth or sixth grade, but she every other weekend, my dad would take us to her house, and she was very strong in the faith, and she lived by it. So she was loving but stern. She didn't ever yell at us. We knew, she could give us a look, and she took us to church and made it to where you felt loved, like it was like a family gathering, not that it was something that you had to be uncomfortable with. But she was just so involved with her church that it felt like family. So she definitely always made me want that family, and like we feel like that here. It's hard to call somebody a friend when you feel like they're more than that. I mostly went to church with my grandmother. My parents didn't attend church or anything like that. We got to tag along with family, but I wasn't fully brought up with knowledge of the Bible, of all the stories. All I knew is I love Jesus. I know what he's done. I know what God did for us. And so I didn't have any question. So I'm one of those kids that have super strong faith, and I didn't know where my morals came from. I had these morals, but I didn't understand why I have these morals. So I'm still learning where things come from and why, and I don't know all the Bible stories. And I'm still, it's exciting for me because we're learning a lot of good stuff right now in class. Um, but my husband, he grew up in the church. His parents were part of the church, and he just did not. He just it didn't go well for him, and it just, in my opinion, it just wasn't the right church for him. It just things were seen as a teenager, and he more rebelled against that. But he had faith, and he always tried to push that with our kids. But if our kids can't see it, they're not going to follow it. So that was our big thing is we got kids that are growing up. We've got a, baby, and we really got to lead by example. And so the more I went to church and the more I followed, the more he didn't do it for me, for sure. He fought his own demons, but he saw it and he wanted to do it, and he just became so much of a better man because of it. So I think that's why, I mean, definitely why we came back and why we'll never leave, because it's part of our life. It's our family. It's how we connect, and it's a tool of how we're always on mission. And sometimes I don't know what I can do next. When these kids are all grown up and maybe kids stop coming to my house, which is going to be heartbreaking, I have to have a next. And the only way I'm going to have that is connections. Okay, here's what you can be helping with next. So I think we have to live by example. I think with me, I I have friends who kind of come to church and don't. And if I'm excited about something, I'm going to tell you. Like when we were doing the study of Elijah, I could not stop talking about it. And then I ended up getting more tattoos because I have lots of tattoos, and all the tattoos that are visible are about the story of Elijah and different representations of the Bible. But what's really neat is I can be in a store and somebody be like, those are really cool tattoos. Like, I like those tattoos. And I'll say, oh, thanks, they're Bible stories. Do you know about the story of Elijah? And it's like a walking advertisement, but I love it. And so it has the crown of Jesus and just different things. And it actually kind of, whether they realize it or not, I guarantee they go home and Google the story of Elijah. Why does she have ravens on her arm? Like, what is happening here? And I think just one more thing that might pull somebody in is just interest them.